Hey there, YouTube land, and tonight, well, I'm missing my kitties. They're over with mom again, so it's back to business as usual, I guess. What we're doing tonight is a little video basically talking about 11 DVD box sets that I think can make great Christmas gifts. So, I go through all the Blu-ray stuff, and coming up closer to Christmas now, I'm going to be doing this quite a bit, hopefully. Basically, I'm going to be looking at my collection and giving you guys ideas that are gifts for like cinephiles. I'll be going through different categories and different sections. This is like kind of a hodgepodge of different things for people that like different stuff. And hopefully you can find something on there if you're looking for something for your uh, your your better half or significant other or whatever, or a friend of yours that likes movies and you want to grab them a box set or something like that. Maybe this will be an idea, and maybe one of my future Blu-rays or DVDs or collector's ones will be an idea for things that for that way. I'm also going to do kind of this was actually recommended to me, do a list of stuff that I really want that I don't have, because basically said, what don't I have that I still lust after. I was actually doing a list of stuff like that. I did it for my better half when we were doing like a Christmas thing. Then we decided to like keep pretty low key. But here you go. Here's 11 gift ideas for you to give to the person in your life that might like these type of films. We're going to start off first with an Anchor Bay one, and it's got quite a few films on it. I think it's a really nice set. I know that there's a lot of these out on Blu-ray right now, and you can go grab the Blu-ray editions. But I think this makes a nice complement, even if you do have the Blu-ray editions. I love the artwork on this one here. I love the way the set's done. I just think it's beautiful. And sometimes people can't afford to go and pay like 20, 30 bucks for each one of these on Blu-ray. And that's understandable. You can't afford to pay $120, $150 to go out and buy the Blu-ray box sets that have might have 3 or 4 or whatever these films on there. So 8 films by Mary Bava, Collection Volume 2. Why Volume 2? Because both volumes are good, but I just prefer the second volume, just a smidge bit more. On it here we have some fantastic artwork, just a lot of films, which we'll get into. Of course, that's Bav himself. And they're in slim-on cases, very cool. Artwork on here as well. So we're going to look at these right now. I'll let you know what's on them. And these are good for, like, if you've got an Italian horror fan and you don't have these movies, great ones to get. Great way to give them, like, a whole spectrum of movies. Some of them do like more than others. It goes into different genres, which is really cool. So it kind of just goes over. First off, we have, of course, Bay of Blood, or in other words known as Twitch of the Death Nerve. We've got an audio commentary on this one here, a trailer, radio spots, poster and stills gallery. Of course, it's a gorgeous one. It has the 2 different artworks on there. We can see the art on the inside as well. Extremely well done. Next up, we go from that, and we have this one was made. There's 2 different versions of this film, and they are actually very different versions. Lisa and the Devil in the House of Exorcism. Again, 2 like very cool movies that are kind of the same but kind of different. I can't really get into it. Wiki, it's a little confusing, but it's 2 different cuts of the film basically. We got Lisa and the Devil, and of course the House of Exorcism. Both cuts are on here. Commentaries on each one of these. One of them got Tim Lucas. Tim Lucas, by the way, is the go-to guy for knowing about Mary Bava. He just knows the stuff. The other commentary as Alfredo Leone and Elke Summer, of course, who starred in the film. We got trailers, radio spots on here as well. And again, another, just a beautiful looking edition. Now remember, a lot of these, or most of these, are available also on Blu-ray if you just want to get one edition of one of these films. This is just if somebody really wants to get into Bava and wants to see different stuff and like get a kind of a full spectrum range of what he's about and what he does. This one here is actually another one that I actually really like, and it's Barren Blood. Barren Blood is Joseph Cotton's Bava film, and again he used Elke Summer, who's used in a couple of his films. I'm a big Joseph Cotton fan from way back in the oh my god, I'm totally going to blank on it now. But Charlie was the original title. One of my favorite Hitchcock movies. You put it down below. I'm totally blanking right now. I just finished watching an interview with between Artie Reynolds and Vincent Russo. This was again another commentary with Tim Lucas. Just I thought it was a very cool film. Is it his best? I wouldn't say it's his best, but you know, there's Blu-ray as well. But this is a good one if you want to get all of these for the price that usually get one of these Blu-rays for. Next up, again, is another one that has 2 cuts. I think this is his last film. It has Rabid Dogs and Kidnapped on it. So if you want to see a really cool review of this one here, I think Logan Toxic. He's got the Arrow edition, the Blu-ray. He's got a cool review talking about the film and different cuts and what he prefers and stuff like that. I'm not going to get into that right now, but you can run over to Logan Toxics to check out Rabid Dogs Kidnapped review. This one here is, again, auto commentary Tim Lucas. There's a little bit more, though. We have the End of the Road, Making Rabid Dogs and Kidnapped, and Mayor Biography. This was the last film. I think that was the last one. Yeah. Anyway, I'm really tired tonight doing this, but I want to do a couple videos tonight because I can't sleep yet, and it's just one of those nights. Next up, we have a Western by him, and very different. So we got Roy Colt and Winchester Jack. And I'll be honest with you, I might have seen this once a long, long time ago. Love spaghetti westerns and stuff like that, but this is the one I watched. This may be a fantastic film, but I do not remember that well. And next up are 2 more that I also haven't seen in a while. And one of them I really should watch because Edwidge finishes it, and I love her. She is like one of the queens of the Italian giallos. And there's $5 for an August Moon, and of course the sex comedy he did called 4 Times That Night. Very mild sex comedy. Again, the Baba box set volume 2. There's the first volume as well with some other great stuff in it. But this one here I just wanted. Bay of Blood is one of my favorites. Wanted Baron Blood as well. $5 for an August Moon. I like giallo type films. And of course, Leeson Devil House of Exorcism, pretty cool as well. Kidnapped and Rabbit are, I think, are decent. They're not his best work. Same with the Western and the sex comedy. I don't think his heart was really into that. That wasn't his type of thing. But that being said, it's a great overview of a lot of different stuff. Again, I spoke on last night with my son on Catholic Ray. If you haven't checked that out, some great people are on there. Lauren and Mike are on there, and they do some amazing, amazing stuff talking. And I was lucky enough to have, my son was over here last night. We got on there. Went on for I think 4 hours. We just really went out there and talked about some different subjects, and there's some cool debating going back and forth. But if you haven't checked it out, really check it out. It's a lot of fun. We try to get it every couple weekends. I don't always get to be in it because sometimes I'm off doing something else. I got my kids, my better half, work. Unfortunately, fortunately I'm working, but fortunately, God, sometimes. Anyway, let's get into number 2. For the younger people or the 80s nostalgia people in your house, I gotta say, I severely recommend this one. I know there's a new series out now and that's being done, but it's become more soap opera-ish. But this is something that I think parents, especially if you got kids and they're hitting those preteen to teen years, pick this up. Degrassi Junior High. I'm no word of a lie. I'm going to be right out there. I'm going to tell you guys, pick it up. It's an amazing set. It was a Canadian series that ran and talked about real issues and displayed them and discussed them in such a great way. Not only does this have all the episodes from I think it's 3 or 4 seasons on here. It's a 9-disc set from all 3 seasons of Degrassi Junior High, because Degrassi went from Kids at Degrassi Street, Degrassi Junior High, and then Degrassi High. But it also has these talks, these kind of half-hour things that they did. One's on drugs, one's on sexuality, one's actually on sex, one's on abuse, one's on alcohol, and one's on depression. They're 30-minute things, and they're great for teachers as well in teaching things, but it's really great to see this here. I have epilepsy, and there's a great episode here on epilepsy, actually, called Stage Fright. And it meant a lot to me because I did not see myself as a teenager being portrayed well on television with my specific issues. Degrassi goes out of their way to give you those issues that each teenager faces. That fear of speaking in front of the class. that nervousness that you get sometimes, that asking that person out, that the rejection, things like epilepsy. Later on in the series, we get into things like a character that had AIDS. There's bullying in this one as well. There's a teen pregnancy handled realistically. There's abortion. There's a lot of really big issues on here, and no matter what side of the fence you fall on, it doesn't. It gives you, it doesn't preach to you and tell you this is what you got to do. It gives you all the options that are out there, and it helps you. You come out of this show with stuff to talk about, and with your kids watching this show, you'll come out of it with relatable characters, and they'll come out with questions. Hopefully questions that they'll talk to you about, that they'll talk to their friends about, and open up a discussion that is really important. So Degrassi Junior High Complete Collection, I strongly recommend. This was a very amazing gift given to me by an incredible friend that anyway, it was amazing. I definitely, if you have kids, pick it up. Next up is one that I mentioned recently, so I'm not going to get too much into it, but it's the American Silent Horror Collection put up by Kino. Kino's a great company when it comes to silent films. They do some amazing stuff. There's some incredible films on here. It's a great introduction to silent horror. And how you do this first, you go out, you watch this one here, Kingdom of Shadows, The Rise of the Horror Film. And I mean, it really does. Rod Steiger is the guy that narrates it. Great narration. Fantastic clips on there from like over 50 films. Just really good documentary. Gotta check it out. Documentary runs 70 minutes long. It's not a long documentary, but it's a thorough documentary, and it makes you want to go out and watch more. Luckily, you got the set. You got more to actually get yourself started. You're gonna want to go after that documentary and watch and buy Haxon from Criterion, which I really need to get. I need that one. But you got some great stuff. Victor Hugo's The Man Who Laughs with Conrad Veidt. Incredible stuff. We got like a 20-minute documentary on here as well. Some home movie footage with Conrad Veidt and Greta Garbo. Emil Jennings and Camilla Horn. We got rare photographs and art. Excerpt of the Italian release version with unique hand-painted title cards. Excerpt from Victor Hugo's original novel. Just pretty plain there. Well done. Next up is Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. It's the John Barrymore version. I'm a big fan of this one. We got the transformation scene from a rare 1909 edition of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. There's Dr. Pickle and Mr. Pride, a 1925 one-reel parody done by Stan Laurel, before Lord Hardy. Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, excerpt of the rival 1920 version that starred Sheldon Lewis. We have the Many Faces Jekyll and Hyde. Basically, it's an illustrated essay on the story's origins and incarnations, and talks about the score as well. Just really incredible. I love this one here. It's the deluxe edition. Great stuff. Definitely worth checking out. Next up is one that you're definitely going to be watching over again. It's Paulini's The Cat and the Canary. There's been many versions of this one done here, but this is the original silent one. Really enjoy this. Not a lot of features. Color tinted. By the way, these run about 80 minutes or so for stuff like this. This is a restored edition. Just some amazing stuff. It's kind of the whole haunted house mystery type of thing. And next up is the one that the cover comes from, and it's a great film. A lot of people, when you think about like the silent horror, you think about like family opera, and you think about movies like you think about The Man Who Laughs, and you think about Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. You may not think of this, but Lon Chaney was such an amazing actor, and he did so much. And The Penalty is a great film. You really have to check it out. It's a great tour de force by Lon Chaney. We have a video tour of Chaney's actual makeup case on here as well, which is just incredible. We got an essay by Chaney biographer, original theatrical trailers from The Big City and While the City Sleeps. We have the surviving footage of Chaney's The Miracle Man on here. Chaney, 1941, one real Western. We have essay, The Penalty, novel, script to screen. We have scene comparison from novel, screenplay, and film. Production budget sheet from The Penalty. And a gallery of photographs and artwork. Just some incredible stuff. And of course, there's a documentary as well. So this is loaded. It's a great set. It may put you back 50 or 60, but it's really worth it. And it's something to invest into that you're going to watch over and over again and really get a good grasp of the American Silent Horror collection. Because, a lot of us, we talk about, like, the stuff that's been done over in other countries and all this stuff. But America has had some incredible groundbreaking films as well. And this one here really shows some of the early stuff that they did. Some great stuff. Next up is another classic one, but these all won't be classics, by the way, guys. It's the Film Noir Classics Volume 1. This is the one I picked. I got 2 volumes of this, and there's like 3 of them out. We got The Sniper on here, directed by Edward Dmytryk. We have The Big Heat with Fritz Lang. The Big Heat's one of my favorite movies. It's the reason I picked this up. When I found this at a Costco for like 19 bucks. I flipped. Bought this immediately. Bought this one and the second one. But The Big Heat is one of my favorite all-time ones. We got Glenn Ford in here. We got Gloria Graham, an early role by Lee Marvin. Just some incredible work. Some very dark, bleak stuff that's really, really good, and it really draws you in. You will remember The Big Heat. It is a good film. Five Against the House, of course, with oh God, who's in this one again? William Conrad, I think. William Conrad is in this one. We got The Lineup again. That's a Don Siegel film. Don Siegel became more famous for his later works. Google it. And Murder by Contract is another. It's a sniper type film. It's a sniper type film in this one, right? Assassin or something like that. I can't remember. It's been a while since I've seen that one. So. But I remember that I really liked. I think Vince Edwards did that one. If I'm correct, he's in that one. It's been a while, but it's a great one. Now for the animation people, for the people that you've been going to watching all these comic book stuff with, and going to the theater and going to see Guardians of the Galaxy and stuff like that. If they don't already have it, this is actually a really cool set. It's a steel case set, and it is the Justice League, the complete series. Now Justice League came out as 2 series. It came out as Justice League the series, and it came out as Justice League Unlimited. Both were great shows. Justice League focused on the core team more, and Justice League Unlimited really got out there and got into a lot of different characters that you would not think would make it onto a DC animated series, but they did, and you got super characters like Question, just some really, really cool stuff. This is a tin set, very, very gorgeous, very nice and shiny. You gotta like that. And you open it up, you have 2 ones here. So we got Justice League and Justice League Unlimited. So basically we got Justice League with the 3 main characters. We got Superman, Wonder Woman, and Batman. It's every season of the show is right here. All 2 seasons. I think it's about like 8 discs or something like that. There's some pretty cool features in here. Great episodes. Strongly recommend it. It's a great series. You can see like some of the animation there. I want to get that out and show you. Now we have the as you can see with the second series, Justice League Unlimited, we get to see like more like kind of different characters that you wouldn't see in other. We got John Stewart's Green Lantern. We have the Atom. We got Green Arrow, Martian Manhunter. We got Aquaman. We got Dr. Fate, and of course Red Tornado on here. This one here runs at 7 discs, I think. And it has a bonus disc, which has a few features on there. Not a lot, not like overly. It's not a packed bonus disc, I wouldn't call it. Again, you see Darkseid on here, just some very cool stuff. Some great storylines. I remember one of my favorite episodes. Well, there's some great ones, like For the Man Who Has Everything is pretty cool. We have Kid Stuff, which is one of my favorites, where they all turn into children. Just some really cool stuff. Question Authority. Great booklets, great packaging, well done stuff. It's a series that adults and kids can watch together. Great, and by the way, this is a lasting type of package too. This is fairly damn cool. It is steel, and it's made that way for a reason. It's nice, it's shiny, it protects it. It's got great cases on the inside. Just some great stuff to check out. Going back to the classic horror stuff again, and we're going to hit into the Val Lewton Horror Collection. And I'm going to tell you right now, when you get the one that has this on it, because you're going to get that extra documentary, and it's a really good documentary. Scorsese done some amazing stuff. So we're going to look at this one right now. And so we have Cat People and Curse of the Cat People, Jack Tourneau, Robert Wise. Some really awesome stuff here. I really love Cat People. It is a dark film. These things have stuff on really. Commentaries on here as well. Audio interviews, just some amazing stuff. We have A Walk the Zombie and the Body Snatcher. I really do love the Body Snatcher. Really cool. It's got Boris Karloff in it. You got smaller appearance, of course, by Bela Lugosi. Very nice cast, and again, commentaries, very cool stuff. We have All of the Dead and Bedlam, two very, very, they're like slower burn films, especially All of the Dead, but they are brutal films that really need to be watched. They are horror in the true sense of the word. Next up, we have The Leopard Man and The Ghost Ship, two lesser known of films produced by Val Lewton. But nonetheless, I have a lot of fun with these. Thought these were really fun films. I definitely check them out. Some great stuff. And here we have The Seventh Victim, which I think is highly underrated, and the Val Lewton documentary Shadows in the Dark, which is a fantastic documentary. And right there alone, you have a great, great Val Lewton set. Amazing. You put it in there, it's great, but we don't stop there because Martin Scorsese went out and he did Val Lewton Man the Shadows documentary. It's a really cool documentary. It's not overtly long. It runs 87 minutes. It's a great compliment to the one that you have here already. Definitely something worth picking up. Something you need to have in your collection. The Val Lewton Horror Collection, 9 Tales of Terror from the legendary producer, one documentary plus the new 2008 documentary as well, with some some more stuff in it. Definitely worth getting. It's a beautiful case. Great stuff there. Any classic horror fan that doesn't have this, well, thank you for putting this one under the tree for them. Next up is a Region 2 one, but I think it should be talked about. And is it horror? It's kind of a little bit of everything. If you have somebody that grew up in that VHS day, who likes the cheesy stuff, who can tell you all about like going back before Blockbuster and stuff like that, and like going and renting movies and stuff like that, then you need to get this Arrow collection called X Rental. It has some really cool stuff in it. We have this is a DVD edition. We have a DVD edition of Maniac Cop. Even if you got the Blu-ray edition, might have some different features on here. I think it does actually from the Synapse one that came out. We got McBain by the director of The Exterminator. Just some very cool stuff, and it stars Christopher Walken. Gotta check it out. Too cheesy, like very softcore, very, very, very softcore. Cheesy, like sexploitation-y type movies. The Cheerleaders, great stuff. All these have like reversible covers, by the way. I got them on the reverse covers. I like these. They all have features on them, but this one here has a really cool feature. And that is, it has a second film. It has the movie Revenge of the Cheerleaders as well. So you're getting two films here in that one, which is amazing. And that's not the only place we get two films. You also get the movie Penitentiary, and it's a really cool kind of like a blaxploitation / boxing film. Really good. Leon Isaac Kennedy does a great job in this. Mr. T is in the second one of this here as well. And the second one is here. We have commentary on this one as well. Some great stuff. It's definitely worth picking up. These are 6 classic cheesy films that you would have rented back in the day in the big box stuff. You would have grabbed it up and you would have been really, really glad to do so. Next up is the second and last film noir one in my collection that I'm going to put on here. I'm going to highlight today. And there's a lot of film noir collections out there, but I really like this one. It's a great starting point, and obviously there's a documentary on here that makes this a great starting point. So if you're just getting into film noir, watch the documentary because it's really cool. And it is Film Noir Classic Collection Volume 3. Is it my favorite of like the movies film noir wise? It's not my favorite of all the films. Volume 2, I think, has narrow margin, and that was a really, really amazing film noir film. And there's some other great stuff in it, but this one has some pretty cool stuff. We got Jane Russell, Robert Mitchum movie, His Kind of Woman. We have Border Incident with, of course, George Murphy and Ricardo Montalban. I love that film, actually. Lady in the Lake is a really cool Philip Chandler film starring Robert Montgomery. And this is done kind of with a subjective camera view, so you actually don't get to see the character very often. Very different. It's unique, and did it work? Some people think it did. Some people think it didn't. Watch it yourself and find out. It's really interesting. On Dangerous Ground is the one that I think is one of the better ones on here. Robert Ryan, Otto Lupino. Fantastic film. Visually amazing. We got The Racket again. Robert Mitchum, Robert Ryan. It's just a cool film, but most of all, we have film noir Bringing Darkness to Light, and it is just an incredible documentary. It's got a cool, this raw slimline here, and I think this runs like just the average time, basically 6 to 8 minutes. Not a long documentary, but a really good, thorough documentary. But it doesn't only have that. There were these like vintage crime shorts that would come on back in the day called Crime Doesn't Pay. Would come on in before like films, like they'd have like the cartoon, and they'd have a shorts. And a lot of times they have these Crimes Does Not Pay, like kind of film noir shorts. And there's 5 of them on here. One of them is actually an Oscar nominee. Actually, 2 of them are Oscar nominees. Pretty cool. Definitely worth checking out. And all of these here, by the way, are all like filled with like commentaries. I don't know, yeah, pretty much every one of these here has a commentary on it. Some of them like throw in the trailer or as well, but it's just some really great stuff. The best commentary is still, I think it's Volume 2. Narrow Margin, William Friedkin commentary is something that I think is one of the best commentaries ever listened to. But this one is a great one. It has a great starting point because this documentary is a great starting point. Next up is another one that I think is perfect starting point, and it is Forbidden Hollywood. I recommend this one to a few friends of mine. One is Logan Tox, who actually picked it up and really enjoyed 3 in a Match, and I'm really glad that he did. Always great to see that somebody else can kind of dig some of the stuff that I'm into. So this one has The Divorcee, A Free Soul, 3 in a Match, Female, and Night Nurse. So what is Forbidden Hollywood? It's pre-code films, and it's got some really great stuff. But not only that, it's got a documentary called Thou Shalt Not, Sex, Sin, and Censorship in Pre-Code Hollywood. There's commentaries on a couple of these films as well. But we sat down, we watched this documentary. Me and my better half did. Amazed, loved every second of it. Went back, rewatched the documentary, stopping at points to write down titles of movies that we wanted to get because we were that interested in the pre-code era after watching this documentary. It really drew us in. Like, I love the pre-code era. I love Stanwyck. Barbara Stanwyck is one of the queens of the pre-code era. I loved it before that. This really, really made it something that we really wanted. And we went back, we're watching the documentary again. We've already enjoyed it, loved it. And usually that's it. You take it off, you talk about it a little bit, and if it's a good documentary, it'll open up some kind of discussion. But it did more than that. It made us go back and re-watch the entire thing, writing down the titles of these films that we wanted to see so bad because they looked so good. And just some amazing stuff. Forbidden Hollywood. Next up are 2 that are very personal favorites of mine. The first one is an anime series. A lot of people talk about a lot of the anime that's on now. Full Metal Alchemist, which my kids love and stuff like that. I'm old school. My better half, of course, loves. She's got her favorites. She's got a few of them. But the one that I grew up with, like I watched first, I think this is an amazing set. It was put out by A&E. I got it a couple years back. It was a pride and joy. I still want the pride and joys in my collection. It may not look as fancy as some of the ones that are up there, but it's really, really, really a great set. And it's Robotech the Complete series. We got the whole thing here. We have the let's get it. We got the Macross saga, and this is like an incredible, like, this is a 5-disc set. Like, every episode with the brutal opening for this. We know Roy Fokker, guys. Roy Fokker. We have the Master Saga, which is the second Robotech War. And this one here runs us at, I think, 4 discs, right? Yeah, 4 discs. Another one. Very cool series. Very different characters in here as well. We have the third one, the New Generation. Again, this one is very, very different from the other ones. This has both English and Spanish language on here, so just so you guys know that. So any of my Spanish viewers here can definitely pick this up because it's great for both English and Spanish language. Again, it's a 4-disc set, but it doesn't stop there. I mean, they could have put in a couple of features or something like that, or show some features on each one. But no, they took a set here called the Robotech Archives, and they put in a shitload of stuff. I apologize. I mean, they put in a lot of stuff. And how much stuff? 4 discs worth of stuff. We have over 10 hours of features on here. We got Carl Masek's Robotech Universe, a documentary on the making of Robotech. This is new to this DVD. We got Robotech music videos, Robotech overview. We got alternate versions of select Robotech episodes that are on here. The Robotech the movie supplementals, including several sequences that are new to DVD, promotional reels of the Robotech launch over in China, over an hour of deleted scenes. We got Robotech the Sentinels with optional commentary, Robotech Sentinels promotional video. We got a Macross original pilots, including a 70-minute extended version. Mosapita original pilot part 1. We have the original opening and closing animations. Galaxy of the Stars, Harmony Gold promotional reel. Harmony Gold, as you know, is a company that put a lot of anime back in the day. We got toy commercials and video game presentation reels, international clips from all through Robotech Wars, vast stills appendix containing character bios, model sheets, pre-production art, comic book covers, merchandise galleries, and much, much more. Just some incredible stuff. It does not chance on anything. You get an incredible presentation, some great animation, a complete saga of just some great stuff. Rick Hunter just is the man. He's the guy for me when it comes to stuff like this. Definitely worth checking out. What amazing features. What an amazing journey. And it is space opera at its best. There are characters that you really invest yourself into. And there's some of them that are going to make you, it's going to punch you in the gut when what happens to them happens to them. But you know what? You got to see it. It's just really that good. Next up is one of my favorite TV shows of all time. And a lot of people, they talk about the Twilight Zone, they talk about the Alfred Hitchcock, but this one doesn't get enough credit. You know where this one got credit at, how this one got noticed in the first place? Stephen King did a book called Danse Macabre, and it was a really, really good book. He talked about all different genres of horror, from like written horror to radio horror to TV horror to horror in film. And he just really went kind of like a cool book talking about all of it. And he talked about this series here. It's been one of the scariest shows he'd ever seen. And you know what? It really is. And it's a really good show. The people that are in this are incredible. The host is Boris Karloff. And we have a ton of like different stars in this one here with some amazing features. 27 audio commentaries go on this set. And it is Thriller, the complete series. 14 DVD deluxe box. So this is not something that's on Blu-ray. A lot of this stuff here isn't on Blu-ray. But definitely you got to see it. Presentation-wise, this is amazing. Image put out an incredible set here. Over 50 hours of special features. Now, we got like stars on this one here early in their career doing some great stuff. And this isn't like some cheap-ass show. They did a great job. We've got Shatner on here, Rip Torn, Robert Vaughn, Richard Kiel, Tom Poston, Leslie Nielsen, Richard Chamberlain. We have Nellie Shaffer, Mary Tyler Moore, Cloris Leachman, Russell Johnson. We got Elizabeth Montgomery, Alan Napier, Donna Douglas, Marion Ross, Ursula Andress, and like many, many more. Just so many great people on here. There's some great commentaries, just some incredible stuff. A lot of people got to check out, even Jim Wynorski, for crying out loud. Jim Wynorski, the cheesy guy, he does a commentary on here that you got to see it. We got extensive promotional production stills gallery, rare episode promos, Thriller series promos, got isolated music scores for select episodes, and I like that. Actually, I really get into that. So you open it up, and the series kind of runs like this, and it just has some amazing stuff. Some of my favorite episodes. Child's Play was a really tense early episode, very different. Basically, it's about a kid that he's playing, and he picks up a gun, and the gun's real. I like really went with it. It was very tense, very well done. One, a lot of people talk about certain episodes on here. The Cheaters was another really fun episode. I'm not going to talk about it. You really got to see this. Yours truly, Jack the Ripper, of course. The Robert Bloch story is on here as well. We have Pigeons from Hell, which is an incredible one. You trust me, you want to see this one. Terror and Teakwood is another one that has to be seen. The Premature Burial, Guillotine. There are so many fantastic ones on here. The one that Wig from Miss DeVore was actually talked about in the book I just mentioned to you, Danse Macabre, as were a couple of these here. Just some very cool stuff. This is almost like somebody's, all those ghost stories that you listen to and like just creepy, suspenseful stories that you told around a campfire all come true with some fantastic actors. Great stuff. That's my 11 here. My voice is going. I gotta get some tea. Gotta get a snack. I want to come on and do another video for you guys. Hope you guys enjoyed this. I think the Giant Lobster had a lot of fun. Thanks for watching, guys. If you've been watching the videos I've been doing recently, I've been doing some longer ones. I've did some with my son and that I'm actually really proud of having done. So thanks for watching those, and for all you guys that are either commenting on those, thank you. It means a lot to me. You guys are my source, my friends, and my place. And when there's not a lot of people around right now, when my better half is not around, it's always great. If I can't get back to comment right away, I do try to get my comments in there as soon as I can. But it means a lot, and it's meant a lot. Everybody that's watched it, and everybody that's commented, everybody that's shared it. It's been incredible, and thank you guys so much for being there for me in a time when it's been kind of harsh. Have a great night, guys. You guys all deserve the awesomeness, and hopefully I can bring you some of it. So have a great night. See you guys in a bit. It's time for tea, and Oh, hope you enjoyed this video.